Welcome back. So during the summer, I'm able to, do these news videos and news of the day kind of things. And then all the other historical stuff, I can sometimes make boards and go, we'll do that tomorrow. And that's what I'm doing with the Chicago historical video that I was ready to do today, but due to the Dzingel signing and due to having some relatively decent amount of news to report, I can push the Chicago video back till tomorrow. So for Chicago fans, I apologize, but the board's done. It's on the way. And I doubt that history is going to change between today and tomorrow for Chicago. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and go, Bobby Hull never played for the Blackhawks. So that's pretty good. On to the news of the day. Michael Del Zotto, a $750,000 signing for the Ducks, is interesting because he was moved to the Blues at the deadline, and the Blues win the Stanley Cup. So he has the Stanley Cup on his resume. Didn't play for the Blues in the playoffs, but you know what? It's still kind of a good story. I like Del Zotto. I know he wasn't very good for Vancouver, and they dumped him off, and then Canuck fans lost it because they thought they should have got more for Del Zotto. But honestly, his value was low. I get why. I'm still waiting for eventually his game to come back together, and he at least becomes a solid top six defenseman again. That's my hope. Maybe Anaheim can do that for him. Jack Hughes has signed an entry-level contract, meaning that the battle between he and Kakko is officially on. They've both signed their entry-level contracts. They're both good to go. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I think Kaapo Kakko likely wins Rookie of the Year this year, and Hughes ends up being the better player overall when it's all said and done. So there's that, and I think Jack Hughes is going to be the subject of a lot of videos over the next 365 days. Holmgren. Paul Holmgren is out as president in Philly. That should make some people happy. I know there are some Flyers fans that when the house cleaning happened said, no, that doesn't count because Holmgren's still team president. So now he's going to be a senior advisor instead. And the Flyers are going to look in another direction. So we'll see how things work out for them. The Stars are apparently trying to trade Ullaeus Honka. This news brought to you 2 years ago. I would think the Stars have been actively trying to move Honka for a while. I'm surprised this is actually in the news because, any Stars fan will tell you, Honka probably on his way out of town. Probably done. So we'll see how things turn out for Honka. I genuinely wish the guy well. I don't think it's going to work out in Dallas. Could it work out somewhere else? Sure, he's young enough. And if I had to take a wager on which team could use him, he's a young defenseman. He's going to be cheap. He might have some upside. Ottawa, he's out there. And I don't think it's going to take a lot to pry him out of Dallas either. Johan Larsson, 1 year, $1.5 million extension with the Buffalo Sabres. That's fair market value now, $1.5 million for 26 years of age, veteran, depth forward, and we'll see if Buffalo, is pretty much done at this point. I get the feeling they are, and I think Botterill's done a pretty good job in putting together a roster that's upgraded over last year's. We can debate this all summer, and we're going to, but if anything, the standings at the end of 2018-2019 show it's really, really difficult to predict what's going to happen from one season to the next. Oh, we're going to try it, but Buffalo could very well be a surprise in the East this year. 50th anniversary celebrations, maybe that 50th anniversary season return to the playoffs. The restricted free agent market is stalled. So going back to Philadelphia with this, Chuck Fletcher has said that he's dealing with Provorov and other restricted free agents, but they're kind of looking at arbitration. So the market needs to be set, and nobody wants to be the guy that sets it. So if you're Brock Besser, you're Patrick Laine, you're Kyle Connor, you don't want to go first because you don't want to be looking at your contract 3 months from now and going, oh, geez, I got less than everybody else. I got less than I probably should have. So there's sort of a chess game going on right now with contracts, and arbitration is going to help to settle the market, where arbitrators are going to say, okay, Jacob Trouba, you're worth this. And then if I'm Chuck Fletcher, I can go back to Provorov and go, hey, Trouba got that amount, so this is a fair offer for you. So we should see the restricted free agent market start to get something going on once July 20th rolls around. Or Mark Bergevin takes that Carolina money and rolls up with a wheelbarrow and starts throwing it at some restricted free agents. Come on, Bergevin, you can do this. Do it. Make it happen. Sign them all. Even if they're not eligible for offer sheets, do it. Just get a piece of paper and just write on it in crayon, I give you $10 million, and hand it off to Brock Besser, who's not eligible for an offer sheet. Do it. Just do it. It's fine. It'll be fun. All kidding aside, I do think this market's going to pick up. And again, like we've been seeing with some guys signing, general managers don't want to go to arbitration. Players don't want to go to arbitration. That makes them more anxious to get a deal done. Jordan Binnington, today is his day. That's why I'm wearing Blues gear. He gets his day with the cup in Richmond Hill, Ontario. He's getting the key to the city. He's got the cup over his head. He's having these big celebrations. And this is why when people, and I've seen some people saying this, like, he's a flash in the pan, and next year he'll fall back to earth. Yeah. At this time last year, he was behind Jake Allen, Chad Johnson, and Ville Husso as well on that depth chart in St. Louis. He was refusing to be sent to the East Coast League to get some games in. He was playing backup to Jake Allen midway through the season, but he was getting sent down to the American League regularly so he could get some games in before being brought back up to sit on the bench. The Jordan Binnington story is crazy. It is a fantastic story of just being willing to wait your turn, and then when he got his turn, he took it. There was no way to get the crease back from him, and that's why I'm not ruling out Binnington being able to roll right through next season as their starter and one of the best goalies in the league as well. So Binnington's day with the cup, and he's already starting to talk about next year. But of course, that's what you do. You don't just get the cup and go, this is it, I'm finished, we're never going to win this again. So it's standard for guys to want to get back to it. And in Binnington's case, he doesn't look nervous. So that's a good thing. All right, there you go. News of the day. Nice and harmless. Again, around the same time as I normally have for these videos. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding any of these news articles. And again, congratulations to Binnington and the Blues. And the fact that we may not have a Stanley Cup champion in Canada for many, many years now. But you know what? The Stanley Cup comes to Canada quite often because Canadians win it quite a bit. So don't overlook the fact that Canadian players get a lot of Stanley Cup days. And for Richmond Hill right now, they have to feel like they won it because he did. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thanks for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.